In chapters 4 and 5 of A Prayer for Owen Meany, Owen fills two roles in the dramatic productions of Gravesend's 1953 Christmas season. He assumes the role of the little Lord Jesus in the Christmas pageant in the Episcopalian Church, and the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come in the Gravesend Players' annual presentation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. In the former, with a little irony, Owen embodies the fusion of the transcendence and immanence as Christ did in the Incarnation. In the latter, Owen confronts the question, is the future completely determined? Owen Meany casts himself as the Christ child in the church's Christmas pageant. As we've said before, Irving makes very strong connections between Jesus and Owen, so it makes perfect sense for the incarnational Owen to play the lead role in the annual celebration of the Incarnation. Perhaps not quite as predictable, Owen also chooses a role for Johnny, the role of Joseph. In commenting on this event, Wheelwright says, "I was just Joseph. I felt that Owen Meany had already chosen me for the only part I could play." This is a refrain of the narrator through the novel, who strongly identifies with Jesus' earthly father, whom he describes as that hapless follower, that stand-in, that guy along for the ride. This reflects the passivity that is clearly evident in his expression of faith throughout the novel, and he seems to resent the role. I, Joseph, had nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing to learn. By metaphorically equating his narrator to Joseph, Irving emphasizes this passivity with which John Wheelwright engages questions of faith. Chapter 5 centers on Owen's part in A Christmas Carol, where Ebenezer Scrooge is visited by three ghosts. Owen Meany ends up playing the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. The key to the visitation of this final ghost is in Scrooge's question. Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be? Or are they shadows of the things that may be only? We know the question because Mr. Fish, who plays Ebenezer Scrooge, gets to ask it during Owen's remarkable audition. But this key question is not asked in the final performance because Owen faints. He faints because he sees on the tombstone his own name and, we can assume, the date of his own death. The question, it seems, is never asked because the answer, at least according to this particular ghost, is clear. Since the fated foul ball, Owen has accepted his future as determined. The narrator tells us that, on the subject of predestination, Owen Meany could accuse Calvin of bad faith. Owen explicitly states his views when Johnny declared it a coincidence that they were beneath the trestle bridge just as the Flying Yankee crossed over it. Owen chastises him. The narrator explains that Owen didn't believe in coincidences. Owen Meany believed that coincidence was a stupid, shallow refuge sought by stupid, shallow people who were unable to accept the fact that their lives were shaped by a terrifying and awesome design, more powerful and unstoppable than the Flying Yankee. That Owen Meany saw the date of his death, he has no doubt. He also has no doubt that this cup would not pass from him. Modern people, Christian or otherwise, don't take naturally to the notion of predestination. We put a lot of stock into our personal power to choose our destiny. This is easily done if one believes that God is so far away that if he exists at all, the best he can do is provide the odd parking space in front of the Christian bookstore during the Christmas rush. Owen doesn't see the world in this way. Next time we will discuss Chapter 6, The Voice of A Prayer for Owen Meany. Thank you, and we will see you there.